In this question, we are looking at trade. So the question is saying, study the following chart and answer the questions that follow. So we have trade. So trade is divided into two. We have the home trade as well as international trade. So under international trade, we can have import and export. Then under home trade can flow in this way. We have the producer. Once they produce, they are going to sell to the wholesalers. Then the wholesalers, they are going to sell to the retailers. And then the retailers, they are going to sell to the consumers. So that's the way trade flows. Now we have the first question, which is saying explain the concept trade. So what is trade? Trade just involves the buying and selling of goods and services. As simple as that. So we can say is the buying and selling. So the buying and selling, of goods and services. And that's all for the concept, which is trade. Then question B saying identify the part marked A. So like I said, trade is divided into home trade as well as international trade. So this one has to be the international trade. And this one has home trade. So when it comes to international trade, it involves two or more countries trading. For home trade differs to the trade which happens within the country. So for marked A, we can say international trade. International trade. And then for question C saying, what is the other name for producer? So these producers, they can be also called as the manufacturers, because they are the ones which make the things that we eat, isn't it? Then once they produce, they are going to sell large. So in this case, we can say bulk or bulky goods to the wholesalers. So these are going to be called as the wholesalers for B. Then for the retailers are going to sell in small quantities to the consumers. Okay. So like for example, which I can give as an example of the wholesalers, those people who sell like large quantities of goods in let's say large quantities of goods. Let's say for example, you want to buy a bar of soap. You can't buy a bar of soap from the wholesalers because them they sell in bulk. That one you can just buy them from the retailers that sells small quantities. So the other name for the manufacturers, the producers, we can say the manufacturers or manufacturer. Okay, then for question D saying name the part labeled B. Name part labeled B. So part labeled B refers to the wholesaler. So the wholesaler is the link between the retailer and the producer or the manufacturer. So that's a wholesaler. Okay. Then the next question, which is question E, saying why is the part label marked B important? State reasons. So like I said, you can't go to the manufacturer and then you say I want to buy a 2 kg of sugar. They can't sell you because them they sell in bulk. So if you want to buy, you need to go to the retailers. And you can't buy you can't buy the 2 kg of sugar from the wholesalers, because for the wholesalers they sell at least small quantities to the retailers, and then the retailers are going to sell now in smaller quantities which can fit the consumers. So the reason why that one is important is that it buy in bulk. Okay. Once the wholesaler buy in bulk from the producers, so they buy in bulk from the producer. Or producers. And black goods. Into, so we can say into smaller quantities. think that one is just very simple to understand. Once they buy from the manufacturers, of course, yeah, it's not compared to how these for retailers, not compared to how these retailers are going to sell. So let's say, for example, if you want the entire the what's this, I don't know how many 2 kg sugars are in that same big one that they buy, so they're going to buy the same thing. Then the retailers are going to sell now one by one to the consumers. So apart from that one, it reduces the storage and distribution cost for the producers. So as the wholesalers buy from the producers, this brings about reduced storage and the distribution cost for the producer. So you can write that one as reduces storage, or you can just say reduce storage and the distribution cost or costs for producers So that one is an important part that you need also to understand. Then apart from that one, these wholesalers, they make sure that the goods reach the consumers or the retailers. So we can say ensure goods reach the retailers. Reach first. So here reach retailers efficiently. Right, so those are the most important things that the wholesalers play in terms of distribution of goods and services. Then for question F, we're saying identify part marked C. So part marked C, it is export, since we have import. So international trade, it has two parts. You can import or you can export the goods. So that part which is remaining is part of export. Then state two most important elements in trade. So in trade, there are only two important elements which are involved. That is buying and selling. You can buy or you can sell. Okay? That is buying and selling. Those are the important concepts that you need to know. So thank you very much for watching, and remember to subscribe for more videos like this.